Hello, folks. I'm Brainbuster. That is Khalid. That is our friend Novi. We're here for Cagematch Chronicles. Dog collar matches. We'll be talking about 5 dog collar matches in a timely manner as to not ruin your Super Bowl occasions. Real quick, let me fix something.
Don't want to steal their viewers or anything.
Yeah, I don't want to counter program the whatever the fuck
Smart.
the NFL is. Anyways,
Yeah.
that color's not
Failing
exactly perfect,
promotion.
but it's fine. It doesn't matter. What are we doing? We're live streaming. Okay, right. Hey, Novi, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, Brainbuster. I'm excited for the Super Bowl today. I don't really have like a team. I just would like to see a good football game because I'm watching it with my parents. So that'd be fun. I'm gonna get food. It's gonna be great. Hell yeah.
You excited for the halftime show?
Hell yeah, I'm excited for the halftime show. It's fucking Kendrick Lamar. He's gonna hold Drake over a vat of acid. It's gonna be awesome.
I saw that tweet. Somebody said it was going to be Adonis. It's kind of very funny.
I didn't want to say Adonis. I didn't know.
Hey, Khalid, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. Just I probably won't be watching the Super Bowl, but
You watch the
Kendrick
halftime show?
performance. Yeah, I'll watch. I'll have it pulled up.
Right,
just
right.
in case something happens.
All right, fair, cool. Well, folks, like I said, we're going to be talking about dog collar matches today. 5 of them, in fact. I won't name them all here, but we'll get to it. Off rip, I do this for every video. This one, since the topic is so niche, I don't expect like a long, winding answer. However, I'll start with Khalid. When did your awareness of dog collar matches come about? And do you remember possibly the first dog collar match you watched or the first time you saw one? Go ahead.
Oh, the first time I saw one. I know for a fact the first one I saw was CM Punk versus Raven. How long ago that was like, it was a pretty long time ago, probably.
Yeah.
It had to be a long time ago. But yeah, that was that was probably like the first time I see it. I want to say it was like mid 2010s. I probably had seen it because
that's the exact same story that I have.
I mean, like that's that. Like that's how it was. Like I had branched off from WWE, and one of the first things I did was just look up people that I liked in WWE and what they did in ROH, and then that was one of the first things that came up. And I was at the time I was like, and then like, the people who pop out in the matches like, or at the end of the match is like, whoa, like what? That's crazy, especially for like teenager me. But yeah, that was probably the first time. Yeah,
we'll go deeper into that match later on. Novi, same question to you.
I have a very similar experience, not for CM Punk and Raven, but for CM Punk and MJF. That was the first time I ever watched a dog collar match from my memory. And I remember just being so, at the time, I remember being captured, but we'll get into that one just like the one you guys talked about. So I don't want to say too much,
Right. Hell yeah. There hasn't, like, relative to other match stipulations, really has not been that many dog collar matches. Like, counting even the ones that are like on the indies, with shitters. On Cagematch, at least, there's like 30 or 40 or something like that. Like,
yeah,
there really has not.
There,
there hasn't been that many dog collar matches, so it makes sense that our experience with them isn't like they aren't too varied because there hasn't been that many. But to start, we'll be going into the very first dog collar match ever. Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine from Starrcade in 1983. This is the first dog collar match, like I said. The idea came from Roddy Piper because, of course, it did. Apparently, they put this match together in like 5 minutes, which is kind of wild to think about. But come to the finish, I think it makes sense, which we'll get into in a second. Hilariously, they did like a radio show talking about this match. Apparently, they just took this match everywhere. Like, they did a loop with this match somehow for like a month or some shit. And like they talked about it on the radio show. They were like, there's no fucking way this, like, any other match besides the first one was as good as the first one because we already beat the fuck out of each other. But I think it's wild that like Jim Crockett was like, you're doing 8 more, bro. Let's go. But I think the affinity that people have for this match makes a lot of sense because every dog collar match you can see now at least has like one reference back to this match. It's usually at the start. So, beginning of this match, immediately both guys brawl back on the chain and like they with each other. Excuse me, I'm still sick, folks. I'm from a Vester. But like one thing I absolutely love about this match is because it's like a legitimate first in pro wrestling, everything is notable to the commentators and the crowd. Something as basic as Roddy like grabbing the chain as they're slowly going towards the middle of the ring and like hitting Greg with it gets this huge like big reaction. And it's not like he like really fucking clocked Greg Valentine with the chain. He hits him on the side with it. But because it's the first time that like it's ever been done before, it gets like a crazy visceral reaction. I think Piper's performance in this match is like amongst some of the best babyface performances of all time. He is selling the effects of the chain so well, and Valentine is like going into the match. Roddy Piper's ear is already fucked up from something, I guess. I don't know. I'm not educated like that, but Valentine is really going after his ear, and the commentators make sure to mention classically, it's thrown off its equilibrium. Hell yeah.
I think the story was that Valentine fucked up his ear, like when he captured his belt, because he took the U.S. title from Piper.
Right.
So that's how they explained it on commentary.
Okay. But as Roddy is slipping around, he's like trying to catch his balance. The chain is like violently pulling him around, like on ringside and stuff. It's fucking sick. His comeback is fantastic. He's violent. Everything he's done is like done with a purpose to fuck up Greg Valentine in some different way. And of course, this happens in Greensboro, so every big punch gets the signature fucking from the crowd. It rules. I respect and I like this match a lot because it is the first of its kind and it like sets a nice precedent for the stipulation going forward. But as I mentioned before, the finish is a bit underwhelming, just a bit. Greg Valentine climbs to the second rope and Roddy pulls him off using the chain. He does wrap the chain around Greg's leg and then pins him for the win, which is a cool way to like incorporate the chain. I don't think any other match that we watched for this did that, so that's kind of cool. But it's the first of its kind, as first dog car match ever, so you can't expect it to have like all the bells and whistles that modern day dog collar matches have, I guess. But like I said, I did like this one a lot. It was very, very good. My favorite line from commentary, Gordon Soley is referring to the amount of blood around Roddy's neck, and he calls it life-giving fluid, which is probably the most insane way to refer to blood. But real quick, folks, Modest King is here. Let's go. He loved this match. Yeah, Cottle and Soley are great on comms. And Bombs is here. Hello. How are you doing? Modest King says, I watched this the other day and then listened to Piper talk about it, how they had to do this. I was way off then. Had to do the dog collar match 20 times, and the wool-eye collar was really annoying. Valentine was pissed at him. Yeah. They talk on whatever show they were doing like they were like fucking war veterans. It rules. Novi, I'll go for you. I'll go to you on this one. Feel free.
I'm free. The Greensboro Coliseum, the home of so many great matches.
Hell yeah.
This one is no exception. I really, really love this match. This was like, if you were to look at a match, and this is the like fundamentals of pro wrestling, this is what I'd show people in a lot of ways. Like, it's just the comebacks and the heat is just so gorgeous. The way that Valentine's cutting off Piper, he's using like all his little tricks, and he's kind of finding new ones throughout the match because he's like trying to learn how to use the collar. And he's finding these little tricks, and Piper is like, he's giving his all. He's fighting out of the corner with the chain. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
It rules because it's like, not only is like kayfabe wise, it makes sense that he doesn't know how to use a chain. Legitimately, he has no fucking idea how to use this chain.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like trying his best.
Yeah, and the crowd are like with him to figure out the ways a little bit, and they're willing to like, it's a certain time. They're willing to play along with them no matter what they're doing. And
yeah,
like you said, Piper, it's one of the best babyface performances I've ever seen as well.
Yeah.
He is insane this match. Like the way he gets the crowd with him, the way he works them, and he's working to the crowd, and it's I really that's like what stands out most on this match. Like Valentine was great too, but
yeah,
the way that Piper just worked.
Piper's like it's like one of his best performances ever.
Yeah, I would agree. And I haven't even seen that much Piper, but I can tell you that's true. Just looking with my eyeballs. It's also very interesting. This is a much shorter chain than a lot of the other dog collar matches. I'm pretty sure all of the other dog collar matches we watched today, this is a short chain, which is
I'm getting ahead of myself, but the chain for CM Punk and MJF is long as fuck.
Dude. Yes, it's huge.
Way
it's
longer
huge.
than I remembered it being.
Yeah, it's a considerable distance more than this one. And this one, like being so short, kind of gives them a lot of like it allows for a lot of utility and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't get too far. They're always throwing punches, and that's one thing too. The punches in this match. I mean, it's the '80s, but
yeah. Anytime you go back to this era, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
They're always incredible.
They're always just so good, man. Everything is laid in so well. These guys know how to strike. They know how to throw some offense. It's wonderful. I did love the cutoff to the ear from Valentine. He's going back to it. He's finding little ways. He's pushing the ref. There's some stray punches here and there. He's always targeting it. It's a super smart through line throughout the match. The bleeders in this match. There's a lot of blood in all 5 of these matches. But this one being in such grainy video is very gorgeous.
I mean, it's just the aesthetic of it. The aesthetic of it all.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. There's so much struggle towards the end. And the people are with Piper's comeback. Towards the way that Piper wins this match, I didn't think it was really that underwhelming personally, because he rips him off the rope and he just beats the shit out of him with a chain on the ground. Like that's because they don't know how to use this thing. They're just gonna whip some ass. I think that's wonderful. I love this match. It's fundamental. It's gorgeous pro wrestling. It's fantastic.
Hell yeah, brother. Khalid, are you as high on it as we are?
Yeah, I'd say so in terms of like it being the first of its kind and things like that. I did just do a Google search. Some guy on Reddit from 12 years ago, I think he said, so apparently in a match previous, Greg Valentine had hit Roddy in the ear with a bell. And it like fucked it up a little. It didn't like injure it heavily, but it was just like a little bit. In this match, when he hit him in the ear, this is what caused Roddy to lose like 50 to 75% of hearing in his ear.
I knew he was partially deaf. I didn't know it was from here.
And it was this match that did it.
Okay.
It was this match that caused him to go, and he was bleeding from the ear and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't Valentine get like some kind of ear injury too? Like he lost some hearing as well. I don't know where I heard that from, but I feel like that might be true. I could just be spouting nonsense, but
you probably could.
Continue.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the way this era would like throw punches and where they would throw the punches. Would be like to the side of the face, like right there. It would make sense that a lot of people from that era like probably lost their hearing like in their 40s. But match. The presentation for when the match was starting. The when the ring announcer says their name and then this whole like the screen, it goes to a different like scene and it's just their face and it's their name under it with a little border around it.
It's a little goofy too, but in like
it's
a nice way.
Funny.
I love Roddy's, dude.
Yeah,
Roddy's just like
smiling. like fucking dog collar match. Let's go.
Rules,
like,
dude.
That shit's great. And then even up till like before the bell rings, they have their hype men there actually hyping them up like it's a boxing match. They're pumping them up. They're like, yo, like, you know,
massaging the shoulders.
Exactly. Like, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I literally wrote, I was like, this is literally a fucking boxing match. Like, this is crazy. This is hard. The commentators. First off, this is probably like the oldest like US match I've probably watched. I want to say this is 1983. This is probably the oldest US match I watched.
If you have watched one older, it's probably not much older.
Yeah. I know we did a older match like not too long ago for Cagematch.
We did. It was the what was that match? It was the Fantastics versus the Midnight Express, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think that was older than this one though.
Yeah, no, that was like that might have been like like a couple years later. But
85. It was 85.
Okay, yeah. So Yeah, so this is like the oldest match I've seen in the US, and the commentators, my first time really hearing them, pretty fire. In my opinion, they're pretty fire. They're like they sound very sport like commentary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's sports like commentary, like straight up.
Yeah, it's like they get into like stories and stuff at the beginning of the match, but for like the rest of the match, they're just flat out just talking about what's happening in the ring, what either wrestler is thinking of, etc., just regular sport stuff or sport sounding stuff. And, it's also just the tone, like, literally sound like baseball commentators. Fucking great. This again, the first match. So I wasn't really like expecting like nothing too crazy, but even some of the stuff I was like, whoa, like the chain around the eyes. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I love the pop that the chain in the mouth of Greg Valentine gets. Like when Roddy wraps around his mouth and the crowd goes fucking insane. Like they just saw a guy die. It was awesome.
He wraps around and then he wraps it around his nose. Like, it was like, a spot that I really liked and that none of these matches did, and I am so fucking surprised, is when Roddy he takes the chain, he puts the chain around the corner ring post, and then he pulls it.
Oh yeah.
And then what?
CM Punk did that in the MJF match.
Oh, he did. Okay. I was gonna say, like, I could have sworn I didn't see it, but I probably just missed it. But the fucking
it's not as big of a moment, I will say.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it's probably not as big of a moment.
It doesn't look as good either because the chain's longer. The chain being so short really helps.
Exactly. Yeah. That was probably like what it was. But that spot, I enjoyed that. I was like, that's fucking fire. That's nice. The blood was getting a bit, it was both guys. Hey, you know what they were doing. And I was looking, they didn't blade, so like
it's hard way, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was yeah. I was like, because I was like, where did he start bleeding from out of nowhere? Like,
I would assume they probably had like partially open wounds already from like prior experiences. I'm sure these guys were bleeding a lot at this time. So like, but then again, with Roddy, did he blade his fucking ear? If he bladed his ear in this match, this is the first time anyone's ever bladed.
Like people are saying that the injury just like it literally broke his eardrum, so like that's why he's bleeding from the ear. It's pretty fucking crazy. So them going this far with the hard way is that's insane. The fucking comeback that Roddy does, where he gets up, big ass fucking Larry, like big ass just clubbing Larry. He just starts beating him up. I was like, oh, that's a comeback if I've ever seen one. It's just fire, and the pop it got was fucking huge. Valentine, I believe, did say that Roddy did blade by his ear before. Good,
that's awesome. Wow, like eat your heart out, John Moxley.
Just fucking absolutely sickening stuff. I will say the ending, honestly, it did catch me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like, a little quick. I'm gonna draw that out
because it feels like after everything that they did, where like they beat the fuck out of each other with the chain. They like everything that they've done, and then it's just like a bump off the second rope that does Greg Valentine in. It's a little iffy, but again, like I said, it's the first time they've ever done this match.
Yeah,
I don't expect them to like refine it, but it's also like not the type of match that's meant to be refined. So like whatever,
It's a gritty finish. I appreciate it because it's gritty out of nowhere, because it's just they've already gone through so much. It's easy to put them down like that. I'm a fan.
Yeah. I found the post match pretty funny too. Greg Valentine just. What the fuck is this? Let me get this shit off. Beating his fucking ass. There is someone in the crowd that is doing like, I'm talking fucking Emmy winning screams. Like they literally are like, yo, Roddy is in there dying. And you can see the like behind, or not behind the camera, but from the angle that the camera is being shot, everyone's standing up and they're getting on the guardrail. They're like, Roddy, wait, no! He's beating them with that fucking chain. That shit was great.
Very, very good match. Real quick, Asia's here. Hello. Martin says Soli is considered a legend in the business. Yeah, JR loves him. Yeah, he's very, very good. Mom says it truly used to be better. Facts. Talk to him, young goat. Martin says what I loved about this match is it was a struggle and they didn't have a lot of traditional heat. Yeah, very, 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 very
That's
true.
what I loved too. I was a big fan of that.
Damn. Okay, I didn't know this. Roddy's in the WWF 2 months later after this match.
Wow.
So wait, that makes me think they did this match.
they did the match like 20 times, and then
they did the match 20 times, and then both of them, I think, because Valentine's not much longer outside of the WWF, so they were both like, "Get me the fuck out of here." Yeah, all right, cool. Hold on, what? Cagematch has a match with Butcher Reed. That is a dog collar match. Oh wait, is this the Buzz Sawyer match? If it is, we actively did not choose to pick this one because anyways,
we here at the Grabs Podcast do not support racism. We abhor it. We don't like it.
It's a little wild to just see like Buzz Sawyer, a very racist man, beating the fuck out of Butch Reed, a black man with a chain. It's wild. The connotation's there, and I don't want to dive into that. Anyways, folks, 20 years later, CM Punk versus Raven. Death Before Dishonor 2003. Dog collar match. Surprise. This was, like I said, my first dog collar match ever. Again, I probably watched it like 2014, 2015, maybe. More likely 2014 because I was mourning the loss of my favorite wrestler ever. At the time, I thought it was a generational masterpiece. And while I still think it's good, I'm not nearly as high on it now. I think it's a good brawl that goes on for just a bit too long. Just a bit. The opening like cutscene with Punk and I forgot his name. God damn it. The fucking ECW guy from the crowd.
I forget his name, but
Raven's lackey.
Forgot
his name. But that part rules. CM Punk's very like cutscene heavy at this point in his career. It's not my favorite thing. He does multiple of them in this match. Again, not my favorite thing. Raven, Danny Doring. Thank you so much, Minus King. I appreciate you. Yeah, I would agree. This is the worst match on the list. Raven's in pretty rough shape here. Not physically because he's buff as fuck.
Yeah, I was like, damn, he looks big here.
Yeah, like, he's big as hell, and I think that affects him heavily. In terms of actually being able to wrestle, it's rough. The match doesn't exactly benefit from a prolonged Raven beatdown on Punk. Much like the first match we talked about, this match also has a dog shit finish, but we'll get into that later. Most of the match is like it's been on the outside. Punk gets a great blade job going, I will say. One of two fantastic. Yeah, oh my god. Well. Yeah. One of two fantastic blade jobs that we'll talk about tonight. But most of the match is just brawling on the outside, like very basic brawling on the outside, throwing into barricades, throwing into chairs. I think Punk pulls Raven off of the is that right? Or Punk pulls Raven off the bleachers and Raven takes a pretty sick bump. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that happens in this match of note, like really at all. Like Punk cuts like a mid-match promo, that's fine, I guess. The finish is give me a second here, folks.
Sick guy, huh?
I'm struggling here. The more I talk, the worse it gets. We're 25 minutes in.
It's over. There he goes again.
God damn it. Colt Cabana's the fucking finish here, guys. He DDTs Raven onto some chairs during a run-in, and then Punk pins him. And the entire post-match is a big cutscene where Punk, first he tapes Raven to the ropes and pours some beer all over Raven, who had just recently got out of rehab, so I'm sure that's fine. And then he cuts a promo, which is interrupted by Tommy Dreamer, of all people.
It's fine.
And then he and Raven then do the same to Punk, where they pour beer on Punk, which I think this is the only time Punk has ever actually consumed alcohol, I will say, and it's on camera. Wild. Yeah, Evil finished 10-0.
Yeah.
Good point. The entire match just feels like it's building to this really big thing, and oh yeah, Fane does yell at Punk. They also chant CM Pussy to start, which rules.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
hilarious. The entire match feels like they're like building to a really big thing, and I assume that is the Dreamer run-in, which I guess doesn't hit as hard in 2025. I wonder why. But yeah, a bit underwhelmed by this match. Again, I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did back in 2014, but definitely didn't expect to like rag on it this much. Again, it's a fine match. Like nothing they do is exactly offensive. It's some things you're like, yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm at with this match. Yeah, well. Khalid, I'll go to you first on this one.
Oh dear.
How did you feel about Sam versus Raven?
Just going back to the Smash, man. When I click on the video, I see young 2003 CM Punk in the ring. He's cutting a promo. I'm just like, look at this Punk guy. I'm gonna take ROH to such great places and such new heights. Yeah. Just you guys wait. WWE is in trouble. Let me tell you what, ROH is coming for the reins.
So is AEW,
bro. Man, the delusion. Well, CM Pussy chant was chef's kiss. Where does the time go? I did write Raven. It's wearing a kilt, I believe here.
Interesting fit.
It's a very interesting fit, but it then brought me up to my next line. Is he top 5 kilt wrestler? Who's
is there 5 kilt wrestlers?
Who's the 5 kilt guys, Khalid?
I don't think Roddy has wrestled in a kilt, but he was wearing a kilt.
I'm sure he wrestled in a kilt at least a couple times.
He probably
at least once.
But also like he is a kilt wrestler. Whether he does wrestle in a kilt or not, he is a kilt wrestler no matter what.
The Highlanders, they wrestled in a kilt.
True. The Highlanders, that's 2. Punk Raven, sorry. Roddy. Did the fucking as Drew Mack, I would count just as wrestler in general.
I would count him too.
Yeah. He can count. I don't think he's wrestled in one, but he can count.
He should wrestle in one. That'd probably be pretty cool.
Maybe he did in 2021, but I
he probably did for TNA Impact. That little Impact run. Yeah, he probably did it.
Yeah, probably.
Or probably on the Indies when he is doing his little indie run. He probably did that one.
I'm checking to see if the Sheep Herders ever wrestled in a kilt because it seems like something they would do.
So, yeah, I mean, fits.
Maybe not. I know that whenever they were the Bushwhackers, they definitely didn't. But
we have a solid starting 5 there. How would you rate that top 5 then?
Yeah, I mean, like that's.
Roddy's first, and then Roddy. Raven. Well, no, Roddy, Drew Raven, and then the fucking Highlanders. Whichever order.
Hey man, he's top 5, man. He's top 5, bro. Top 5 kilt wrestlers. You already know what's going on. Punk, he gets good old gush here. It's a good old gush. It was great, and then they get to fight in the crowd. One of my favorite things about 90s and 2000s indie and Puro and Joshi is crowd fighting. I like because the crowds are so like jumbled up. It's not like now where it's all sectioned off and shit. Those crowds are just so fucking jumbled up. And when they have a camera that's able to follow like a over top-ish view or just right behind them, and you could just see the crowd just and they just spread out like that's one of my favorite things. So I'm not gonna lie. I was like, this shit's fucking cool as fuck. Not gonna lie. Fighting in the crowd. And then Raven started giving
yeah, the feud ender was the cage match, right?
Yeah, it was.
Modest King says, funniest thing about this dog collar match is realizing that this wasn't the feud ender. I'm pretty sure the feud ender was the cage match.
Yeah.
Where Raven gets crucified, I think, something like that. Which is
interesting.
Okay.
I did like Raven giving the dude the fucking chair. Like, hold that, please, hold that. And he just throws Punk into the fucking chair. That shit was sick to me. The the bleacher spot, I'm not gonna, as a person that has fell on bleachers, like that shit scared me. I'm not gonna let that shit fucking bleachers are, especially those type of bleachers, like those are,
your feet can get caught pretty easy on those fuckers.
That is a fucking work hazard. It should not be on, like it should not be there. The mic coming into the middle of the match where he starts talking, where Punk starts talking, middle of the match, that shit was cool as fuck to me again. And then
it fits the time, I think.
Yeah, it does. It
like at that point, that was legitimately like groundbreaking. Like this is the kind of shit that people were like, they talked about CM Punk the same way people talk about Bray Wyatt in like 2017, where it's like this totally new thing. Marcos, hello, brother. Marcos says hello, Chad. I love CM Punk. I also love Matt. I don't remember. Thank you so much. I love you too.
I think he meant Matt Morgan, but that's just me.
Me too, brother. Let's fucking go on the blueprint. Let's go.
Oh man.
I couldn't believe Raven doing that bleacher bump. He was on Mania 2 years before.
How times change.
So funny, dude.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you give him a kiss?
Did you actually? I'm sorry, I'm derailing the show here because my friend Marcos is here. But what?
What? Oh.
This guy lives 40 minutes from CM Punk. Go hang out with him.
What the fuck?
Anyways, go ahead, Khalid. I'm so sorry.
Marcus and CM Punk hangout session coming real soon. Vlog it, the whole thing.
Fuck yeah.
Where was I at? Oh yeah. Boom boom. Colt Cabana gets in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Boom boom. And this shit was fucking terrible. I ain't gonna lie. I fucking hate this shit. It fucking sucks. Tommy, bro, literally in like as I was seeing it, the perfect analogy for this shit would be if we were looking at like 2021 like DPW, and then for some reason there's a GCW invasion. What are we doing? Why the fuck?
Well, no. Let's because like ECW at this time, they're dead. 2 years after they're dead.
Yeah, okay.
So like
absolutely fair. Absolutely.
It would be it'd be like a fucking it would be like DPW, there's a fucking CZW invasion.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? Why Tommy Dreamer in my Ring of Honor? Get him the fuck out.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Modest King does mention it. He mentioned it earlier, but Raven and Dream was like a big feud at the time. So like for indie fans, this was a like revolutionary moment. They were like, they were all in on this kind of thing. There were huge ECW chants. So like,
true.
Yeah. I'll let them have their fun. Doesn't mean I have to like it in 2025, but I'll let them have their fun.
Fuck them and their fun.
All right. Oh my god, I will say, Gabe, Modest King says it, Gabe was fucking awful on commentary. He was so bad in this match.
It's a major part. What I'm gonna say on this match.
It's so bad.
Major.
Please go ahead. I'm so sorry. He's dog shit, bro.
Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
He's bad. That was my whole point.
Oh, you want him to go ahead?
What, me?
You want Novi?
Are you gonna end on?
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
He's gonna end on Colt Cabana sucks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's fair. I mean, it's fair. For me personally, this match happened 6 days after I was born, which is very funny.
Jesus!
Shout out to CM Punk and Raven for doing that 6 days. If it was good, shout out actually, because I didn't like this match almost at all. In fact, the promo before it was like fine. CM Pussy was a great chant, and we should bring it back. I feel not because I would do it, but just because I'd like to hear it one good time.
I think whenever Punk turns heel, that it should come back. Absolutely,
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. I do enjoy the beatdowns. I enjoy Punk only getting offense through counters for a majority of the match. The brawl on the outside, the fan who sets up the chair, the bleacher bump. It's all all well and good, all well and fine. About everything else other than that is very boring, and there's a reason. It's a big part of a review later of the match, but I was very tired watching these matches, and a lot of them I didn't really feel it at all because I was just having fun, especially with one of the matches we'll get to later. Yeah. This one I felt it. I felt it hard. I was just painfully bored. Modest brings it up about the commentary. Commentary is just horrific. I didn't think there was one good thing said. Gabe's voice is painfully annoying the entire match. It's like droning in my ear. It's horrific. I can't stand it. The finish, like you guys have spoken about, is terrible. Obviously, the time has aged things differently. Maybe in the moment, assuming how the crowd reacted, it was fun. For me, I truly could not care about that at all because I didn't live at that time. I was only 6 days old. So, it didn't really matter much to me. Boom Boom hits him. He doesn't just hit him with a DDT, hits him with a nut shot. And before the cover, there's about 2 full minutes of Punk fighting off the other guy, the other ECW guy. He throws him out and then pins him 2 minutes later. So Raven theoretically didn't recover from the nut shot and the DDT from fucking Colt Cabana for 2 full minutes. So he gets pinned for the 3 count.
He's old, bro.
Is he that old?
Not really.
No, he's big as fuck. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's jacked as fuck. The post match, interesting, huh?
I mean,
it was very it was a little tough to watch at times. Not because it wasn't like that bad, and I'm sure they agreed to it, but it was like, I wouldn't do that. That didn't sound good. And then I think at one point, I don't know if it was Raven or Dreamer, but one of them was like, "Oh, I was never any good at staying sober, anyways." Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's pretty. For Raven specifically,
it's interesting. Just threw me off a little bit. That's all.
But again, I mean, it is of the times.
It's of the times.
They're making towns.
They are.
Pills.
They're popping pills. They're doing
doing
their thing. They're taking the bumps, brother. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting. The last thing I'll say on it, to see how the dog collar had changed in 20 years, considering this is 20 years after the match we just covered.
Yeah.
If this was the only thing, it kind of got a little worse. It got there's not really much creativity to it, and a lot of it's mainly because Raven is fucked, but it's interesting to like see how it's changed at the least. But I didn't really like this match.
I watched a very short shoot interview clip of Raven talking about Punk, and he said, "Punk's a funny case because when we wrestled, he truly believed he was the best in the world, which he wasn't, but he ended up becoming that. So like it's whatever." Which I think is a pretty cool outlook for Raven to have, I think, now. Which, to be fair, he had, I believe that was like in the middle of CM Punk's Roller Wrestling Federation title run. So he was technically correct. But, all right, folks. We're gonna go right into the next match. We're trying to get this done before the big game, also known as the Puppy Bowl. Yuji Nagata versus Takashi Iizuka from Wrestling Dontaku 2009. I'm not extremely familiar with Iizuka. I know he sustained like a pretty serious injury sometime within the early 2000s. I believe Khalid told me this during a Wrestle Kingdom watch along at some point, maybe, because he came out for the Rambo, I believe, at one point. I think
he said 2 Rambos.
Yeah, it was either you or somebody on Twitter, maybe, I don't know, but he was out for a long time because of that injury. And then after that, he became what we see in this match, basically, which is like just a brawler, a dirty fucking brawler, which I'm pretty sure that's also where like the claw comes in that he uses all the time. It's kind of like the Onita route in a way. Like he got messed up pretty badly, so he couldn't work that well.
Mm-hmm.
At least the way he did like pre-injury. So he just resorted to chaotic brawls to make up for it, which, I mean, beast. It's a tried and true pipeline for pro wrestlers. In this match, I think he shows pretty good, shows pretty well how good he was at this type of match. He's dirty, he's physical. He's like making all those, the classic Iizuka faces, like a proper heel should, really. And this is pretty damn close to Nagata's prime. Khalid, when exactly would you say Nagata's prime is?
Ooh,
I was
honestly
like 2010, 2011, 2012 is what I was thinking, but
it's around this time, I want to say. Yeah.
So he's physical as fuck here too, like stiff kicks, shoot headbutts that are like specifically 2 of them that were like cringe inducing when they were on the top rope. But both of you guys are physical as hell in this match. I think this is a pretty great example of what a dog collar match should be, because while it's not full of like huge spots, it still has some of those like not big, but like I said, cringeworthy moments, but like in a very, very good way. I mentioned those headbutts. The part when Iizuka has Nagata's head like trapped in the ropes, that specifically comes to mind, because this is not the first time I've seen this match. So that image was already stuck in my head. I fucking love that spot because Nagata's face is like he is dying, brother.
He's fucking dying.
Yeah. And then the finish being like Nagata just kicking Iizuka in the fucking head and knocking him out with his hands strapped in the ropes.
Beautiful.
It's a very appropriate. That's the kind of finish I like in this match.
Yeah.
Like just an appropriate, like sudden but brutal fucking ending where he just kicks him in the fucking head. I think it's very, very good. The first time I watched this match, I wasn't that high on it. I came away from this match liking it much more this time around. I don't know if it was because I was watching the first one that's not like pushing the boundaries as much as like some other ones do now, and then the other one, Raven and Punk, that's just kind of boring for the most part. But I like this match a fucking lot. Novi, thoughts?
Well, Brainbuster, I do have some thoughts. I was very curious about what this would look like. I've never really seen Iizuka. I don't know how to say it. Say it one more time. I don't want to say it wrong. Iizuka. Okay. I've never really seen him work that much. I know he's a part of Suzuki-gu, and they did that invasion angle. I knew about that part. And I've seen a good bit of Nagata, but I just was curious. I was interested, and I don't really remember too many dog collars happening in New Japan. I don't see people talk about this match very much. So yeah, I love the intensity to start. It was very obvious this was going to be brutal. They were going to beat the fuck out of one another. But I have to say, around the first half of this match, like around the middle point, I just wasn't really feeling it. Like I enjoyed the intensity, like I enjoyed the blood, the offense is great, but something to me was missing. And it's kind of a crucial part to dog collar matches, and I felt the hatred throughout the last half of this match. I felt like they really wanted to fucking kill each other, and it comes out when they do the whole Iizuka does he wraps him up in the ropes. He wraps Nagata up in the ropes.
Yeah.
Just starts beating the fuck out of him. He chokes him out with the chain at one point. Nagata's like struggling to breathe. It's wonderful. And then the finish where Nagata gets him back for hanging him in the ropes. He hangs him up in the ropes again, Iizuka, and just kicks the fuck out of him, like you said, which is very sick. So yeah, it got me by the end. By the end, I was like the last 5 minutes or so, especially, I was like, this fucking rocks. Because both these guys are just covered in blood, beating the fuck out of one another. That's dog collar matches to me. There was a moment in this match around the middle where I perked up a little bit because it cut to the crowd shot. There was a fellow in the crowd who was wearing a shirt that said George W. Bush, the toxic Texan, which was very funny to me.
That rocks.
I was like, huh, how did that get there?
Yeah.
But it's very sick.
Rolls.
Yeah. I noticed it, and it was very, it popped me huge. But yeah, towards the end, this gets really, really good. I don't even have that much to say because there was a part of the match I just didn't like.
Right.
And, once it gets to it, I'm all in. I felt a lot of the same things you did, Bust.
Modest King says this match is really good, but loses some points for not being a traditional dog collar match. It's whatever. We needed a fifth to throw in there that was like, unique enough. It's fine. This popped me. Tommy Ishii being, at ringside for the entire match, it ruled. Khalid, go ahead, brother.
So yeah, I hadn't seen this match. This is my first time really seeing it. Probably would have never watched this match unless it was doing it for Cagematch Chronicles. So here we are. I did a little bit of research just to see why this match was happening. Because it's Don Taku. It's one of the big shows. There's usually a story going into a match like this. So basically, Iizuka used to be a tech wrestler. He used to be a techie wrestler. That's what he used to be. From 2000 to 2008, him and Nagata, they were a tag team. And then Iizuka, he went through this whole change. The injury was a concussion. It was a concussion, but the concussion was so bad that it put him out for like a year, or like a year and a half or two. So when he came back, shaved his head, new attitude, new wrestling style, all this stuff. And then he started going after Tenzan, which, if you're aware of the third generation New Japan, you know how Tenzan, Nagata, Kojima, like that. So Nagata didn't like that shit. So then they started beefing. Now the dog collar, it's called a chain death match, but it's really a dog collar. But the chain death match, yeah, exactly. It's like whatever. The chain death match, it is Iizuka's match. He did one with Tenzan, and he's done two with Nagata. This is the second match with Nagata. He did one with Nagata like a month before this, in which he beat Nagata. But this right here, this is like a culmination of just basically all of that. Him turning on Nagata, him going after Tenzan, and him beating him in the first match and all this stuff. This is a culmination of all that. So the whole, you might be wondering about the cast in the beginning. Usually he has a steel glove. He didn't have it there.
Yeah.
There's another weapon that he has that not too many people realize that he has. If you look at his mouth guard, he has a steel mouth guard. His mouth guard is
that
steel.
rules. It's so sick.
If you look through the match, there's a moment in the match where Nagata has the Justice Lock. He has the blue lock. He has it in. And then Nagata or Iizuka bites his ankle. The reason why he let it go is because he has a fucking steel mouth guard.
That rules.
The steel mouth guard is such an amazing. There's a G1. It's like it's either this year or the year after. There's a G1 where Iizuka goes like 1-5, and all his losses are because of DQ because he used his fucking mouth guard. It's so fucking funny. It's so
that rocks,
buddy. It's so He is. Iizuka's definitely someone that's like really overlooked, but once you get a little look at him, you're like, wait a minute, this is some good shit. And this match just showed a little bit of that. You know, he's brawler. He knows how to do his hardcore stuff. He knows how to do the brawling stuff very well, and he also knows how to take a beating from someone who's not doing brawling and not doing hardcore stuff. He knows how to wrestle someone who's just a polar opposite style, like Nagata, which is Nagata's just all kicks and fucking forearms. And for like the beginning part and maybe the middle part of this match, he has the better half of him for like most of that. And then it gets to the when Nagata does his blade job, the camera work is very good because all it is Iizuka and Nagata on the ground. They're hitting each other. Everyone crowds them. All you can hear is just you just hear a chain hitting someone, and then the camera goes like this big like overlooking shot kind of, and you can't see them. And as soon as the camera gets back on them, Nagata's gushing. Good stuff. Just another element of like just New Japan, you know, camera work is, you know, they really know how to hide those blade spots. But yeah,
which is a little different from some of these other matches because some of these other matches they don't hide things.
They don't hide things. You know what? Honestly, for the most part, I don't really care about it too much. But I do appreciate it when it is hit. I appreciate it more when it's hitting. When they do a good job at hiding it, I'm like, okay, thank you for doing that. Like, that's cool. But it I don't want you to walk up in the camera and just, I'm getting in there, buddy. Like, that's fucking great.
Bro, there's a clip. I forgot who it is, but it's like in like old territory, guys. There's a clip of a guy where he gets punched in the forehead. And I guess he's got the blade taped around his thumb. So he gets hit, and he turns to the crowd and just like does that, and then he gets hit again, and he just keeps doing it like over and over again. I don't know. It looks like it's fucking Captain Lou Albano. I don't know if that's who it is, but
oh my God,
it's kind of. I wanted to see if I could find it.
Yeah, there. Whenever Moxley had his like I'm gonna blade every match gimmick, they used to do a terrible job of hiding his blade jobs. Like he would just they would go, oh look at Moxley, and he's sitting there going,
hold on guys, 1 sec please.
A second, please. Hold on. I need to do this thing real quick. I need to put over the aggression.
Yeah, the fucking the hiding the blade job stuff, like, you know, I appreciate it when it's hidden well, and they did that well here for Nagata when he got his blade job in. As mentioned before, Ishii on the side has the hair, looks absolutely insane. This is like a couple months after Chaos starts, so like Ishii is a heel here, which is like very interesting. That like heel Ishii is fucking hilarious. I need to go watch some stuff, but the loosening the ropes part, that's just cool. When I was first watching this, I didn't realize what he was doing. I was like, what is he doing? Is he warming up the ropes? Like, what is he doing? He looked like he was doing the thing that you would do to someone's arm in like elementary school. I was like, what is he doing? And now I realized the ropes are getting loose. I was like, oh shit. And then he threw him into the ropes, and then he got he was hanging by his neck. I was like, holy shit. If anyone out there watched WWE, you'll know that they did that with Trick Williams, I believe, at an NXT show. It was supposed to be like a throwback to like an old Saturday night main event thing. It was cool. It was all right. But right here, it's utilized very well because they're not trying to make it seem like, oh, like this isn't supposed to happen. No, this is what's supposed to happen. He's choking him with the damn ropes. All right, he's choking him with the damn ropes. And Nagata, he lets you know in his face, I'm fucking dying. Help me.
Yeah.
It's fucking good stuff. And then he fucking gets him out. They do their thing. I'm pretty sure he bites him again with the fucking steel mouth guard. And then the arm side, I like when a heel tries to do a spot. It works for a little bit, but then that face gets out that spot and then turns it onto the heel. That's exactly what happened here, because he did a drop kick to Izuka, I believe, and he bounced into the ropes and it just tied his arms up, which is like it's basically a way of saying, nature's going to do its thing. And then to finish the fucking shoot kick to the head, like, and it instantly opened up his cut more, which is like, chef's kiss. This is just cool, super cool match in my opinion. Is a very rare thing. You don't get too many no DQ stuff in New Japan, so to see something like this at this time, it's fucking cool.
It's pretty sick, good stuff. All right. Next we go over a decade in the future. 13 years, something like that. CM Punk versus MJF at Revolution 2022. Man, this Punk entrance is just perfect. Coming out to AFI, blaring through the arena, the attire, everything. It's just like, it made me cry. Like, I was legitimately sitting here just bawling. I fucking hate Tony Khan so much. I hate him so goddamn much. This story is the greatest story AEW will ever tell. Ever. Nothing is going to beat this. I don't give a fuck how in the weeds that Twink is. I don't give a fuck. This is the best story they will ever tell. Every promo, every segment, every match, which is a hint, is perfect. Now, from the offset, you can tell how much Punk loves Craig Valentine versus Roddy Piper, because, I mean, not just because like the iconic like Max, will you be my Valentine promo, but some of the spots in this match are like 1-for-1 from Roddy versus Valentine. Punk immediately pulls back on the chain as the match starts, but I think they evolve it nicely because Valentine wasn't as much of a chicken shit heel as Max was. Valentine was more like the confident Ric Flair type heel, but not in like a braggadocious dumb fuck way. But so Max is like actively fighting against the rope, like going towards the middle of the ring with MJF or with Punk, I mean, instead of going to welcoming it like Valentine did. Max runs out of the ring just as Valentine did. Punk drags him back into the into the ropes just as Roddy did to Greg Valentine. Punk wraps the chain around the ring post, like I mentioned before, to keep MJF in the corner, just like Roddy did to Valentine. It's not as effective, but and that's all in the beginning moments. They veer off and they create their own match, but it's clear that Punk wanted to pay homage to Roddy versus Valentine at the very least, in some way. It's very well known that Punk fucking loves Roddy Piper, so it makes sense. I've generally in the past not been like super duper high on this match. I watched it since I haven't watched it since like 2023, and in 2025 I've come back around again to it like fully. I adore this match, like I said. I think it's got some like pretty rough pacing issues at times that take it down just like a tiny bit for me. I think that plus what I thought was a bad crowd for years that I now don't think is a bad crowd. Just overall made me think I didn't like the match as much as I do. The brawling is great. Punk's blade job is fucking iconic now at this point. And they mix in some big spots to like take the violence to the next level, I guess. Great timing, Khalid. The tombstone on the floor, the superplex onto the tacks. This type of match it doesn't need escalation of violence really, but those two really, add to the match. I think MJF is fantastic here, turning up the chicken shit to like 1,000, and the crowd is fully bought into watching him get killed. I love the bump that he takes into the tax after the GTS. It's so hokey and like cartoonish, but it just fits perfectly. Like CM Punk clocks him in the head with the fucking with the GTS, and Max he goes up, walks a couple steps, and then falls down into the tax, and the entire crowd just goes fucking insane for it. And that comes right around the time that Wardlow turns on MJF, and dude, I forgot how big of a reaction that shit got from the crowd. Like everyone, including me, was like really in on Wardlow turning and being like the next big baby face in the company. Mm-hmm. 3 years later, that just couldn't be further from the truth. It's kind of wild. I really, really, really love this match. I still don't think it's quite as good as the Chicago match, which I think that's like a 5-star match perfection, but it's a match worthy of the feud's send-off, so it's perfect in that way. It's sad that CM Punk would actually never wrestle again after this, and nothing else would happen in the entirety of his wrestling career ever. Actually, it's kind of rough. Sucks that this is his last match ever. It sucks that he and Hangman,
feud gets it gets written off. It gets blown off. They just go their separate ways, and that's really it.
Yeah.
Factual.
Real quick, Andrew's here. Number 1, hello. Number 2, Greg, the Hammer Valentine. I would agree.
True.
Good point, actually. Modest King says, only minor issue with this match and the tag match next is that they work the best if he followed in context to the feuds. Yes. Which I think for us, we lived through for you as well, Modest King, but we lived through the whole thing. Both feuds. So we're all in. We're there. Novi, you have sort of been on the same page with me, somewhat, kind of, sort of, and not exactly adoring this match. What are your thoughts on it now? Real quick, your mic is doing the thing again.
It's doing the thing again?
Doing the thing again.
Okay, you filled that air for 2 minutes.
Hey, Khalid, how'd you feel about this match?
Oh shit. I don't know where Novi was about to go with it, but I might be going in a direction that I'm not gonna say in a direction because it's not like what I'm about to say is like an uncommon thing, but I'm not too crazy about the match. I'm not too crazy about it.
Oh yeah, really? I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just it's like all right. Hold on. I should rephrase that. With context, if you have context of the entire storyline, in my opinion, it's definitely fucking great.
Yeah.
But from how I was watching it for this occasion right here, so just as a match by itself of just it being a dog collar match, it's again, it's not bad. I wouldn't even say it's mid. It's still a good match, but it's me watching it by itself like this and not being like, because I'm not currently living inside the storyline, I'm like, damn, like this is kind of, this might be a little slow. This is a little slow going
It's
on
definitely
here.
a little slow.
Yeah, I was like, and like, I guess that's just how time goes when you're living in the storyline versus you're out of the storyline and you're 3 years past it. You know, some things like that can happen. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, like, Punk blade job, 10 out of 10.
Incredible, yeah.
Peak MJF. Like, this is it literally does not get better than this.
Yeah.
You know, it's good, man. Like them two together when it was hitting like in this match, it's like really good. It's like peak company stuff.
Yeah.
But just the overall pacing is a little slow, you know, things like that. Speaking with context, though, we'll go back to context. The feud in general, of course, like you said, is the best feud. It's probably going to be the best feud.
Yeah. The only thing that comes close is Hangman and Kenny.
Yeah.
While I don't think that it's like close, I still love Hangman and Kenny a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's there's just nothing that gets this personal.
Yeah.
And like for me personally, I like this feud a lot because like similar to like other like younger wrestlers now, kind of like Gabe Kidd, with like how he feels about New Japan and stuff like that. Like the same reason MJF is mad at CM Punk, I was mad at CM Punk for the same fucking shit. Cause I was like, why the fuck would you do that?
I can't tell you how many times I turned on that fucking CM Punk documentary and he said, I can't change the business from my couch in Chicago. And I said, yeah, you can. Go back, please.
Like, it's so fucking like, and even when he got there, like I was happy. I was still mad because I was like, why didn't you come here in the beginning? Like, why wasn't you here at day one? You should have been here at day one. Because he should have. He should have been here at day one. He really should have been in AEW at day one. But yeah, like throughout the match and throughout the feud and stuff, I was like MJF is right. He's valid here. This is one of the few feuds where I looked at MJF and I was like, yo, like you're right. The heel is right. Fuck this CM Punk guy. What the fuck? Lose the damn match. But yeah, this was amazing. And then obviously the Wardlow stuff, which we were really big on Wardlow, huh? Like
it's kind of wild.
As a nation, we were really big.
The thing is, I still don't even think Wardlow's bad. I'm probably not as high on him as I was before, but
I really want him to go to WWE. I know he would
kill it over there.
He would fucking go crazy over there.
Get him somebody to talk for him.
Yeah. Wardlow Braun Breaker, just for the fuck of it.
Fuck.
Just let him go crazy. Just let him have it. Mid-card shit, intercontinental title. Just let him have it. But yeah. The turn was super cool, and it is a shame that CM Punk just disappeared off the face of the earth after this.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, huh?
Pretty insane.
Novi, do you miss CM Punk as much as we do?
Every single day of my life. This match specifically brought about a lot of those feelings. So you kind of mentioned it to start before my mic decided to die once more. I've had an interesting experience with this match because when I first watched it, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, the feud was fantastic. I could see I wasn't so much on like, fuck CM Punk for not coming here. I was more like I get why both sides have like, they're right in their own ways. But I thought it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I rewatched it. I'd like to say last year at some point. I think towards the summer. I must not have been in a great mood and something like that. I did not like this very much. I mean, I liked it, but it was just like the difference between how I first felt about it and then was very drastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was convinced the crowd sucked. I was convinced it was slow and boring and all this stuff. And now I watched it. I watched it yesterday, and I said earlier I was watching this while I was very tired. I hadn't slept much all week. But we had to get this done. I had to watch all these matches. Watch 4 of them today. Watched the last one today, or watched 4 of them yesterday. Last one today. This was the last one I watched yesterday, and I cannot tell you how into it I got. By the end, I was pumping my fist. I was chanting. I was cheering. It was wonderful. I think this match is near perfection to me. I absolutely adore it. I know a lot of people have issues with the pacing and say it is a little slow, and I can see where people are coming from. I just did not feel that way on this watch. I thought a lot of like the slowness of it was just, I get it. It's a dog collar. You're selling. You're doing your thing. You know, I appreciated that aspect of it. The entrance, as you spoke about, Bus, that's just, it brought me right back to it. CM Punk was made for this promotion. He was made to work in AEW. That's where his home should have been.
This promotion. He's not made for AEW today.
Exactly. But you know what I mean. He was made for what AEW should be. And it's that moment is just gorgeous. It didn't bring me to tears, but it made me very angry. In fact,
was crying.
It was an opposite. I was upset. I said, fuck Tony Khan for what he's done to CM Punk in AEW. I love how they start this match. It's very intense. Obviously, Max is trying to get away. He's being a chicken shit. But they kind of set the tone for him. It's like, actually, Max, it's a dog collar match, buddy. You can't really go. You can go kind of far because the chain's long, but you can't go that far. You're going to have to come back at some point. You're going to have to use your tricks at the very least. And he definitely does use his tricks. He's yanking the chain constantly. He's begging for forgiveness on Punk until he fucks him up. He screws him over afterwards. It's wonderful. The Punk bleeder is one of the best I've ever seen to this day. The camera work on that is just tremendous. They get such a clear shot of his face. And to end the match, he puts the chain in his mouth with him covered in blood. The shorts are covered in blood. It's fantastic. It's a very classical dog collar match with a lot of the dynamics at play. But like in a lot of ways it is, because it's inspired by Greg and Roddy. But it also has a lot of those like newer elements in play. A lot of the the thumbtacks and stuff like that. But I did love the use of the chain from both sides. It felt very central. It felt like they were both using it like. The chain match has been around for a long time. Punk has been in quite a lot of them. He knows what he's doing in there, and you could tell. And MJF is still kind of finding his way throughout. I enjoy that part of it too. One aspect of the match, if I have to give one criticism, because I don't just want to sit here and praise everything about this match. Punk does these 10 count punches on the barricade. And they look awful to me. They just don't really connect. The camera gets a really bad angle on it. That's the problem. Like the camera angle is bad, so it just he's grazing the top of his head. He's doing his business, which is it's fine, but it's especially fine because he then follows that up with some fantastic looking punches with the chain to MJF on the outside, which made me forget about it all in one go, which is wonderful. I love the drama of the tax. I mentioned that was kind of a newer element of wrestling put into this one. It was really good. It was comical selling, there. Whoa, but it's fine. It was quirky. It got the crowd into it, so I don't mind it. And there is a lot of tax, which is nice. You mentioned the bump or the bump that MGF takes into it. It's kind of it's a little silly, but like in a good way. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's silly and dumb in a wrestling way. That's good.
Yeah. Wardlow giving Punk the ring. I like you guys both. I remember being so locked in. This story and the way they paced it and the time they put into it, you could convince, like, people were saying around that time, I have not forgotten that Wardlow should be the world champion. They said Wardlow should win the world title after this. He was that over. I don't know if he was doing the Powerbomb Symphony at this time or maybe a little. He was. They got a little comical with that, and I think it hurt him a lot. But that's a Wardlow conversation.
You know what I always think is pretty weird? They made sure to put out into the dirt sheets that MJF booked the entire Pillars 4-way thing that people really didn't like. They never really talked about the fact that MJF booked this entire Wardlow thing. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting to note that they didn't, people seem to be pick and choosing. But MJF, as Bomb said, MJF is good. MJF is fantastic in this match. He plays his role so well. I don't always enjoy MJF, but around here is when I'd say it's his peak.
Yes,
This feud
without
is obviously, like you guys said, one of the best in AEW. I still prefer Kenny and Hangman because I'm a big Hangman guy. But this is a very close second to me. Very, very close.
Yeah.
If you ask me tomorrow, it might change. But yeah, it's just wonderful. It's just glorious. I love this match so much. And nowadays, with all the context we have and how the times have changed with both guys and how AEW has changed, it's just, you know, it's kind of I don't know the right word to describe it. It's not nostalgic, but it's just I long for this. I long for this type of
Yeah.
match to come back. But
While
yeah,
I love going back to watch some of these matches, I can't help but feel just at all times a somber connotation. At all
yeah.
times. I'm
It's
just
it's
like,
hard. It's hard because
yeah.
we do the Relight the Fuse on Late Night Grin.
That's why I don't do it, because I get sad.
Yeah, I get it. We don't really watch it too often. Like, we don't really watch the shows. We kind of just talk.
Yeah.
And we view it. But like when you do see some of those, like we watched the Kenny Pack match from on Dynamite.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, that stuff isn't around anymore. And I right now, like I'm really into MJF and Hangman. I think it's paced really well. I'm really excited to see where that goes.
I am. Yeah, I'm pretty interested to see where it goes. Yeah.
I'm interested to see where it goes. And there's a couple other feuds I'm interested in. There's feuds that could touch that I'm interested in. I don't think there's ever going to be a feud in AEW that reaches this kind of intensity, this kind of
No.
like, it's so personal. It's just so personal. And you feel it in the match. You feel it in the way they tell things.
There's no one in the company that's capable of storybooking a feud this way. This is a CM Punk and MJF production. Those two collaborative minds do not exist anymore. And I mean that. MJF is not, he doesn't think about wrestling this way anymore, I don't think. Like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like he's got burned a little bit over the years and just has kind of changed things. If MJF was like still doing shit like this, I think he'd still be considered one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I still think he's quite good, to be honest with you. I don't have as much of an issue with some of his stuff as some people do, but it's hard not to like watch this match and then be like, damn, that is the real MJF to me.
He's capable of this, but he's not doing Hangman. He could do it with Hangman probably if they were given time to like really put something together.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm not gonna say it. And if they had the time and it wasn't just thrown upon them randomly by their boss, you know, it could be nice. But anyways,
yeah,
there's too many people involved, bro.
It's a great point from Modest. They still do great stuff. They are great at what they do, but nowadays there's just so many cooks in the kitchen. There's so many people to get involved and throw. They gotta
get out. Get out. Get them out.
There's so many cooks in the kitchen, but listen, there's 11 people here. Nobody tweet about this. When your boss calls you and says, "Hey, this is the feud," and then your question is, "Okay, who's the face and who's the heel and who's winning?" And the boss's answer is, "I don't know." That's not good. It's almost like he's not in the weeds. Fucking idiot. Bomb says Swerve is probably the closest to booking feuds like this right now. True.
This is true. And you see it too in the Swerve Ricochet feud. I think that the same kind of energy, not even close to the intensity this reaches, but the same kind of energy is involved in that as there is here.
I think the only way we get these intense personal feuds is like it can't be nothing that's born from AEW. It has to be something that took place like before AEW.
The thing is, I don't think that's true, but the idea of like every feud that gets to this level of intensity has to be about AEW, that's wrong.
That's all that's wrong. And a great thing too, AEW is allergic to celebrating their history. So even if things happened in their company that could birth a feud like this, they would never let it happen. They would never allow it.
Look at Swerve and Hangman. That's an entire feud that lives entirely within AEW, but it's not about AEW. For some reason, every personal feud is like, I must save this company.
I must save this company. I must be the feeling.
When your main feud is essentially telling your audience this company's not what it used to be, that's not good. Like, that's not a good feeling. I don't want to be told by a fucking guy cosplaying a Nazi that this company's not what it used to be. I'm good on that, bro. I'm good. It's okay. Let's move on, maybe. Let's make Mark Briscoe the world champion. How about that?
I've seen that get thrown around, and I'm into it.
Speaking of Mark Briscoe,
I'm cool with it.
Up next, folks, to get away from the "it's all over" conversation. FTR versus the Briscoes. Final battle, 2022. I was there for this match. I mention it all the time, but it's easily the coolest match I've ever seen live. Easily. You could see me the entire time. I wasn't fat chanting "Dem boys." Let's fucking go.
Boys.
I'll rip off the Band-Aid. This is my third rewatch of the match. It's the best dog collar match of all time. It's perfect in every fucking way. Even in its tragedy, it's perfect. The fact that it's a tag team dog collar match, it works to its benefit because just double the amount of insane shit going on. It also helps that the two teams in the match are the two best tag teams of all time. That helps for sure. The violence is off the charts. They use the chain so much and in so many just different ways. Dax fucking Harwood wrapping around his head for a headbutt, beast as hell. It's just like so many inducing spots in this match. I legitimately thought Mark Briscoe may have been forced into retirement because of the bump from the corner of the top rope to the chairs to the floor.
Oh my god,
brother! I was there alone, by the way. I didn't know anybody around me when that happened. We were like all actively talking to each other, like, "Is he okay?
Let's
what
fucking
the fuck
go."
is going on? It's brutal. And the thud that came from that was just fucking insane. The amount of blood being poured in this match is gruesome. At one point on commentary, Caprice Coleman says, "Do you smell that? You can smell the iron." He's not being hyperbolic. You could smell the iron in the air.
Wow.
It was everywhere. It was fucking everywhere. All four guys in this match have incredible chemistry. Jeb Briscoe, I mean, I tweeted this, but I'm not sure there is a better last match ever. I don't know if there's a better last performance ever. Jay Briscoe is at his absolute peak of this match. Full funker mode, bumping around like a madman. He pulls out the funker punches. It's like ceremonious at times. In his last match ever, at ROH's biggest show of the year, Jay Briscoe wins. The tag title's back for him and his brother one last time in a brutal, bloody brawl. Like, there's nothing more like Briscoe coded than that. It's the perfect send off for Jay and the Briscoes of the tag team. It's just fantastic. Easily my favorite match that we covered here. Very easily. I mean, it's beautiful. Beautiful pro wrestling. The entire crowd's in on it. I love this match so much. There's not much more I can say. I adore this match. It's fantastic. Novi, I'll go to you first. I know you love this match too.
I also adore this match. I can't say for sure whether I adore it more than the other match I adore on this, but it's for a totally different reason. These are two I like these for just completely.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy to me. I was immediately thrown back into the FTR belt collector run. And I was thinking, man, what a time to be alive. There's only one other tag run I ever think has come close in terms of like my personal enjoyment. It was the Bucks tag run. But just like the specialty of the belt collector FTR, not FTRs, but FTR was just, it was incredible. Mark Briscoe getting busted open within the first minute kind of tells you how this is going to go. Yeah. It kind of says, okay, they're going to be bleeding a lot. And fuck me, do they? The mat is basically red. After this, there is blood on the floor. There is blood in the crowd. I don't know if you would have seen it, but was blood flying into the crowd off of these people when they were off the top rope?
I'm sure it was. I'm not for sure. I don't know for sure.
I was wondering if you could see it. That's all.
I wouldn't doubt it because Jay had them long ass dreads at the time, so I'm pretty sure the blood got in those dreads. Like, man, that's flying.
I've said this before as well, but this sounds like I'm fucking glazing. I'm not kidding. Whenever the Briscoes came out, like the moment they walked around the corner, Jay Briscoe with like the bandana around his nose or whatever, I'm not fucking around. I got chills. Like the most intimidating man I've ever seen in my fucking life. He looked like he was ready to murder somebody. Like just glorious, dude. Glorious.
And all four of these guys really do look like they're ready to like kill each other.
Yeah, man.
They're ready to go to fucking war.
FTR in the fucking all white gear. Immediately, I knew.
Oh man,
This is gonna get fucking crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man.
Little prequel there. The split screen brawling around the arena all over. It's just oh man, it's just wonder there. It's like you're going back and forth trying to figure out what to look at because there's just so much happening. Mark is sitting there taking bumps off the stage while Jay is getting hit with trash cans and shit. It's just it's wonderful. Probably the most creative spot I've seen in any of these dog collar matches was the Irish whip into the chain. I forget who did it and like who got the whip, but that was very, very creative. I love that spot a lot. The funniest part too, we talk about all the blood. Fucking Mike Posey gets a crazy blader.
I have one small note at the bottom of my paragraph that I forgot to mention. Imagine using a blood packet instead of just running the razor like Mike Posey does here, dude. He nicks himself. He is gushing.
He is truly gushing.
What a beast.
It's sick. It's sick. It genuinely adds to like just how fucking sick this match is. Yeah. That a goddamn ref is sitting over there gushing blood. That's fucking awesome. Obviously the top rope bump onto the chairs. I didn't watch this live. I don't remember why. Like I didn't watch this show live, but I remember watching it after and still thinking he was dead.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way you come back from that. The end of this match, the last like 7-8 minutes, the pure desperation from both parties is fan fucking tastic. Dax is going between the legs of Jay. He's nut shot there. Jay hits him with one, and that's not because they're trying to be heels and shit. There's just they have nothing left. There is no other way they can win. He's kicked out of everything that should put him away. At one point, Dax teases the top rope pile driver. I know he doesn't hit it. I was convinced he was going to hit it. I was convinced he was going to give it to him.
In the second match.
Yeah, but he hasn't hit it here. So I remembered him not hitting it here. But I was like, for a second, I said, did he actually hit it here? I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. The superplex onto the chairs into the ring. Oh my God. Right after, because Cash screams, murder him. And then they do it. Oh my God. It's glorious.
Awesome, dude.
The finish. Oh my fucking God. Cash getting pulled by Mark. He can't fucking get in, but he's desperate, reaching to his partner. And he can't get him. It's over. Dax goes out. Jay he's on top. Unfortunately, this would be his final match, but good God, what a way to end it. What a way. It's perfect. It's perfect. Glory.
It's fucking perfect.
It's wonderful. I've actually decided, as I've been talking about it, I do actually prefer this match more. I think this match is my favorite too. It's glorious for wrestling.
There's no issues with it. With Punk and MJF, you can nitpick a little bit. You can find things. I don't know if I can in this match. There's nothing. It's perfect.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. Khalid, did you love it as much as us?
Absolutely. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Man, this is as a person who because for me, going into ROH, new place for me completely. Just freshly left WWE like 2015. So I'm like, what's out there outside of TNA? What's out there? I get to ROH. The world champion is Jay Briscoe.
Yeah.
From there, I'm locked in. From that point on, I was locked in with Jay Briscoe, and going from that to the Briscoes going to New Japan and them holding the trios titles with Toru Yano, which is like one of the funniest things ever. If you've not seen it, you should go watch like a match or two. It's so fucking funny. It's such an interesting visual. And then them holding the IWGP tag team belts, like history making stuff, and then them winning the ROH tag titles like another like 5 times including this match. And then the indie run that they went on where they was in GCW before GCW got bad, when GCW was still decent. They were doing that. They did Hog. They somehow snagged the Impact titles. Like, it's just such a dominant run. And then we get to this match, and then this match. This is, like both of y'all have already said, it's the perfect send off. It is the perfect send off. If this was a retirement match, this would probably be the best retirement match if this was a retirement match. But like it's
there's not much else that even competes with it. Like Sting, yes, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But like,
you can't really consider it like a retirement match because it wasn't like a retirement match. Looking back as a last match, like it's one of the best last matches ever.
Because it wasn't played up as a retirement match, obviously. It like kind of adds to it because like they just did this. There was no like
they just did that. They just did that for
the point. The intention after this was to just keep wrestling. That's incredible.
They were gonna have an ROH world title run, like a tag title run. Okay, that's awesome.
Insane, man.
Insane. Absolutely crazy. And like I mean, going back to this just being a match, not only is this just a match on a pay-per-view or anything like that, but this being Ring of Honor, which, as we see, is a company that somebody does not care about right now, is insane. Because, in a way, they just bled buckets for this company. It's just going to fucking die in 2 years. It's fucking crazy. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. I don't know how you buy a company and then you have those matches happen while you're owning the company and say, let's just not even look. Let's not even look. Let's not even pay attention.
Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
It's so fucking stupid.
This does feel like a last gasp of ROH, like what it should be a little bit. It's like this is what ROH was like. It's what it should be now. It's come on, man.
So fucking gross. But the match itself, I mean, like, this is. I remember watching this match and I was just in awe, just shocked. This was probably like the first time like AEW like really like made me be like, you know, like same way you felt like when you first watched Hangman Swerve. This was the first time that like AEW or ROH. This is the first time I was like, whoa, like, oh shit, like, what the fuck? What are these guys doing? Like, that the Mark Briscoe going into the Impala chair off the that is insane stuff. Insane stuff. It is only stuff that like Masawa would be proud of. Shout out Masawa. Like,
shout out Masawa.
Masawa and Kobashi.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a ridiculous bumps for the sake of the Ivy Green.
I mean, you got to when you held gold there. You got to when you held gold there. You got to. It's like it's in. Speaking about Mike Posey, bro.
Yeah.
There needs to be a conversation of like, you know, everyone's talking about like the dying breed of wrestlers. Talk about the referees. Because good Lord, it's getting rough out here. Because how many referees is really going to take like actual bumps? No one.
Not many.
Like not many. Like Mike Posey will go out there and take a fucking Jay Driller. Like it's like a lot of like 2010s ROH. They're out there taking some shit. The super kicks is out there in full effect. So like for him to go out there and do a blade job.
And it's like they mentioned it on commentary. He was a wrestler prior to reffing.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just
what he cut deep on that shit.
He knew what he was doing. That boy's a professional.
He caught something.
That's it. And it's so wild how someone who doesn't have that much, like that intensive of a wrestling background, like he's been reffing more than wrestling, and he can go out there. Bleed fucking buckies. Buckies. I look at shit today. I'm like, man, what is that cut, bro? What is that? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Go take a class, man.
There's a lot of baby cuts happening these days. Not a fan.
There's a lot of baby cuts happening, and I'm not a fan. Adam Cole, get the blade out your repertoire. Get it out. There's no reason for you to have that. oh my.
That's the thing is like if you're not gonna cut like a fucking madman, just don't bleed.
Yes, bro.
It's
If
fine.
you're not gonna,
You don't have to bleed.
You don't
I
even
won't
have
like
to.
you as much.
you
but
don't have
you
to bleed. No one's forcing you to bleed. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Like, you know, like
You don't even have to cut like crazy. You don't have to even do like how Jay cuts here. Just cut with some self-respect. You know?
Yeah, man. I've become a fucking hawk. The moment I see the shade of blood that is in blood packets, I go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Again?
So fucking stupid.
I've got a list.
Oh.
Cody, Adam Cole,
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman. You fucking losers.
All pussies.
Fucking hate them.
Insane. Absolutely ridiculous. The game is dying. Every time I watch a good match, I get angry. This is one of those instances. There's a lot of things that like I can't watch too many good matches.
2022. It's very funny.
I can't watch any like too many good matches like this that are like on this scale because then I start to get angry.
Yeah.
It's like what timeline am I in right now?
It feels so wrong that we're never gonna get to watch the Briscoes wrestle again. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like it's
highly upsetting.
Spiritually incorrect. It's not okay.
There should be a godly tag run happening that saves the tag division for AEW because they are just too good to deny, and we have been robbed of it. It is disturbing.
like the way Mark gets featured now, you can only imagine what the Briscoes run would have looked literally just a couple months after. It's
really is angry.
It's fucking not fair, man.
Yeah, and I start to think too. It's like whenever I see a performance as good as these two teams. Okay, you're back. Oh,
this shit gets serious for me, bro. It gets serious, bro.
I was saying if I see a performance as good as like the ones from these two teams, I start to think who the fuck is going to do it like them? Like there's not a single team that is doing it as good as these guys are doing. There's not, and I don't know if there ever will be at this rate. It's very alarming.
Is there any good brother tag teams right now?
No.
Saito brothers.
Brothers. Shout out.
Saito they're about to do they're about to do J-pop, bro. Chilling them.
Dude, have you heard that song?
I heard the chorus of it. I didn't hear the actual song.
Fucking rules. It's actually so good. I'm not fucking around. It's actually really good.
Yeah. I will tap in.
Boom.
Is that the song?
Are we done, fellas?
Doom?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They go Doom.
Now that you brought up Saito Brothers, I should go ahead and say Triple H, keep your fucking hands off them.
Go on!
Go! Oh, do not. Sorry, oh my God. Because I've already forgotten that he has Wagner, bro. And that shit, like,
yeah.
Triple H, William Regal. I am IP blocking your access to Japanese pro wrestling. Leave it the fuck alone. And CMLL, fuck you.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. CMLL especially. If CMLL gets fucking ransacked, I will lose my shit. I'll be so fucking mad.
They're too self-respecting. They would never. Yeah. Fuck the Fed is the team going around in CMLL.
Fuck the Fed. It also fuck Tony Khan. That is the entire point of this podcast.
Yeah.
Folks, that has been Cagematch Chronicles.
Actually, I have one more thing about that match. It is still fucking bonkers that match did not main event this show. Bonkers.
Yeah.
Crazy decision from Tony Khan.
Nobody watched that match. The main event of the show, I mean, because you definitely can't see me singing Judas right on camera. You definitely can't see it. It was 2022. Chris Jericho is still good. Please calm down.
Different time.
All right. Now it is the end of Cagematch Chronicles Dog Collar. However, don't leave yet. Because we will now be deciding two things now, I think, actually.
Ew.
It's fine, Khalid. It's fine. Fuck it. It's whatever.
It's not
we will be deciding the next episode of Cagematch Chronicles, as well as I believe Khalid will be either deciding or revealing the next episode of Puro Time Capsule, which will be happening. Give me a second. Sunday, the 23rd.
What's next week?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
CC. Okay. So match stipulation gone. All right. Let me show
Honestly, okay. How about this? I was thinking we haven't done any promotions yet. Should we make an executive decision to spin the promotions wheel?
Well, can we see what the chat thinks? Maybe.
Sure.
If there's
chat.
anybody in chat.
Would you rather us just spin the wheel of topics and like we usually do, or since we haven't done a promotion, should we just run straight up just go promotions? Because it'd be insane if we went Dave Batista, dog collar straight into another wrestler. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
Yeah, for this show. Because the way it works, we can do Bombs is saying spin the wheel. Modest hasn't decided yet. Okay, we're spinning the wheel. It's fine.
We're just going. If it lands on promotion, great.
Then we win.
Which one? The promotion wheel?
The topics. The topics.
Okay.
We're just doing topics wheel.
So yeah, take off match stip, and then we'll see what happens.
All right.
I do hope we get promotion though. I hope we get something quirky. You know.
The options are, just in case anyone doesn't know, the options are, as of right now, it's a year, which is any year from 1980 to 2024 or 23, I want to say. Make sure there's no provocative ads on the fucking thing. All right. It is year, tag team, which there is a tag team wheel, and then there is promotion, which there's about 40 promotions on the wheel. I'm just gonna just spin it, just see what happens.
Okay, we're hoping for some things. We're hoping for some things, folks. The FPS is a little low.
The FPS is crazy right now.
It's a tad low, guys.
Okay,
it's
tad low. It is tag team.
That's cool. We've never done tag team either, so that works. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a full fucking tag team wheel. Oh, I hope we do.
We do. Hold on, let me grab it real quick.
Check if there's any provocative ads on there.
All right. I forgot what I even put on this wheel, and Lord have mercy.
This is a big fucking wheel from what I remember.
Yeah, I know you got some shit on here.
Holy fuck!
Massive. It is massive. I literally went to the Cagematch list of tag teams, and I put down all the tag teams that were amazing, all the way to I mean, there's at least I think we're looking at 30, 35 tag teams here, but I mean, let's go. Let's see what we get here.
Run it.
Frames is a little low.
Again, FPS is a little crazy.
It's okay.
This is a little crazy.
It could stop at any moment, and I'd be
all that matters is the result.
Oh.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge.
Let's talk about the dog collar match again. Let's go.
No, we can't do it again. That rules. Okay. I'm hyped on that.
Mm-hmm.
My God. That should be glorious.
Dude, they have a crazy match.
That will be both FTR and the Revival, to be very clear. That just means Dax and Cash. Dex Harwood or what are their names in the Washington Federation?
Cash Wheeler, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson.
Yeah, all of them.
They'll also be that
rule.
What they were before that. Weren't they called the Mechanics? They'll include them too.
Yeah. We might have to get Joseph James Holbert on that show. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Might seems like we have to. We just have to.
American Alpha will definitely be on there. Don't worry. So Khalid, we've done that. Do you have a topic set for a pure time capsule or no?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Not right now. I will have it tonight though. Okay.
I will reveal that on whatever the next LNG show we do, probably. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But for now, thank you guys. Yeah. Just Ryan says Jason Jordan sad face. True. Very sad. To do the show, Joe keeps your LNG every week. No, the fuck he does not. He won't be on the show.
If that's his conditions. He will not be joining us.
He'll be off. #no. But again, thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate you. Hopefully the Eagles don't win. I'm sorry to say. I don't want the Chiefs to win really at all, but I can't. I can't.
You're a Cowboys fan.
I can't do another Eagles Super Bowl. I've disowned the Cowboys. However, I will never root for the Eagles. That's just ingrained in my blood, sadly. Anyways, folks, all the links for these guys are in the description, by the way. Twitters, Twitch, all that stuff. Go follow, go support, please.
I have a new video. Check it out.
Yes, nobody does have a new video. My fault. AW's old wrestler problem is what it's about. I watched that very good video. I liked it. Hell yeah.
Yay!
All right. Bye.